Hello everyone, happy quarantine. My name is Jason Parker and welcome back to this channel about magic. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at a British magician named Mark Shortland. I've never heard of him before, I don't know what to expect. It should be fun. But first, I'm going to share a little magic trick with you that I've been working on. It involves matches, so let's check it out. Alrighty, so this trick involves 2 matchsticks. This is a new one for me, so I apologize if I don't do it just right. But you have these matches, yeah? And if we put them, they just link straight through each other just like that. And then they come free again. Maybe I can do it even better. Maybe I can, if I do a fast link, if I speed them up a little bit like this. Whoa! Right together versus a slow unlink. It's a magic. Alrighty tighty, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully I performed it well enough. If I did, smash like. If I didn't, leave a comment below. By the way, how have you been enjoying your quarantine? I've been spending some of my self-isolation time learning new magic and growing out my hair way too long. I really miss the barbershops. How about you? At any rate, let's go ahead and jump right into the reaction and see what Mark Shortland has in store for us.
Mark Shortland.
I'm Mark Shortland, I'm 42 and I'm a magician from Northampton. I'd count myself as a lucky person. I'm the sort of person that never seems to have a really bad round of golf, or if I need a few quid then it just appears from nowhere. I was 26 when I came into magic.
Fantastic.
So I've been doing it for 16 years now. I used to be a canoe instructor, then foot and mouth disease hit. I wasn't able to do the canoeing anymore.
Oh, yes.
So I thought I'd hang up my paddle and give magic a go and use some of that luck in the tricks that I do. Tonight, the trick that I'm going to do is going to rely solely on chance. The reason why I think it's going to fool Penn and Teller this evening is because they're going to be looking for some kind of logical explanation, but actually there isn't really one.
I just wanted to say that's kind of funny how he describes himself as being such a lucky guy, but at one point he says he got a disease that forced him to stop being a canoe instructor, and I'm just thinking, this guy's really optimistic, right? I think we should all strive to be so optimistic. Proceeding.
Himself, Mr. Lucky. Let's hope he gets lucky here tonight. It's Mark Shortland.
Or that was just his gimmick for his act to describe himself as being lucky. Maybe that's his presentation. Anyways.
Fantastic. Hello. My name's Mark Shortland. I'm here to do a little trick for you this evening. I'm not going to use sleight of hand. I'm not going to use misdirection. Tonight I'm using luck, and for that I have this with me. This is the universal symbol of luck, a dice. I need somebody to hold on to it for me. Jonathan, are you feeling lucky?
Oh, I'm always feeling lucky.
Perfect. Hold on to that, ladies and gentlemen. Jonathan Ross.
Thank you.
Thank
you. I'm here.
Excellent. Now, Jonathan, I've got some envelopes just here. These are just random envelopes. Okay. We know that. It says so on them.
Yes.
OK, what I need you to do is just mix them up for me.
OK.
OK, just give them a little shuffle up.
Make them even more random.
Absolutely. I've also got some mobile phones as well. Okay. What I need you to do for me, if you wouldn't mind, is pop a mobile phone in each of the envelopes.
Do you want me to hold the dice as well?
Put that down or put it in
Okay,
that's fine. Yeah, just pop one in. I'm not going to look, so pop it in and then seal it up.
Seal it, lick it and seal it?
Oh, no, it's just a push down. It's not a licky sticky. It's fine. While you're doing that, I'll entertain the audience with a couple of jokes. So there's 2 fish in a tank, and one says to the other one, "Can you drive this thing?" Yeah, if you could be a bit quicker, Jonathan, that'd be really handy.
Well, I'm doing 3 or 4 things over here.
There's 2 monkeys in a bath. One says to the other one, and the other one said, "We'll put some more cold water in then." I really need you to hurry up here, Jonathan. These are not quite going according to plan.
Hold on.
How many, are we good?
I'm laughing at his jokes, but I'm like, wait a second, this is misdirection. I'm trying to pay attention to those envelopes and see if anything's happening. Has anything happened yet? Comment below. And proceeding with the video.
Oh, you're really good, but I've got, there's one envelope left over.
There's one envelope left over. Just stick your phone in that. You've got a phone on you, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a phone on me.
Yeah, put that in there.
That's awesome.
I can't come down.
This is my actual phone, OK?
It's your phone? Yeah,
It's my phone.
Yeah, put it in. It'll be cool. Trust me. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, look at the shirt. I dressed myself. How bad can it be? Just give him a little mix-up, Jonathan, when you're done. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
OK, cool. Now, just in case you happen to carry on and know which one yours is in, I'm just going to mix them up as well. OK, now, I've got some stickers just here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I need you to put a sticker onto each one.
OK.
Great. That's number 4, 3, number 2, number 5, and number 6. Smashing. What I've also got here is I've got a little shaker.
OK.
OK. So, yes, exactly. So if I just take that, we're going to pop that in there like that. OK. And then you're going to shake it up. OK. And whatever number we get, we're going to get rid of the envelope. That's easy enough, isn't it? We just put it off on one side. So just shake.
OK. It's my phone. It's not like a pop.
No, it's fine. Number 3.
Number 3.
OK, so we're going to get rid of number 3. Okay. So it just goes over on the side.
Oh, that's
fine.
OK.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Sorry. I've got this as well. OK. OK, we got rid of that one. Let's go again.
This is really awesome. Jonathan Ross really seems concerned, you know? And I think it's kind of heightened by the fact that the magician is so unconcerned, you know? He's just like, let's go. He's just not hesitating, like, let's just smash it. You know, he's not building up this drama. He's just like carefree, like, I'm Mr. Lucky, it doesn't matter. And I feel like that makes Jonathan feel more worried, you know? And I gotta take this moment to say that I'm really enjoying this season 1 of Fool Us, having this host, Jonathan Ross. He seems like a very entertaining guy. Back to the video.
I'll be honest with you. Maybe we should just find out now if you fooled them already, and then we can... what are the odds of still in my
Come on, be a man.
Oh, OK,
Come on,
here we go.
Do it again.
Number 4.
Number 4, fantastic. Let's just... That's it. Number 4. Now, if you saw yours again, would you recognise it? If we do break yours, don't worry, I've got an app that we can fix it with. Okay?
Lots of good jokes.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6 is there. Number 6 shouldn't have been the one.
OK, you do that one.
Mark,
Just do it. Think of all those times that phone hasn't worked.
you know,
Think
just,
of when you've gone, hello.
if I do it and it's my phone, it's not going to make it any
Exactly, it
better.
makes a difference. Everybody's seen you're done number 6. Come on, give it a welly. You've just taken out the audience
Wow,
just
it's
there.
gone.
Fantastic, sorry about that. OK, we've got 1, 2, 5 left. Shake it again.
Sorry about the head wound, but it's not my phone. That's the good news.
Shake it again.
Right, OK, so
One,
spinning.
2 and 5. 1, 2 and 5.
We're down to 2. Wow, it's got it wrong.
No, that's a white one. That's fine. It's not yours. We've got 1 and 5 left. 1 and 5. It's down to 50-50. 50-50. I tell you what, Penn, you're a big man. You could probably use this quite well, couldn't you?
I sure could.
Come on up.
I got 5. You can do one if you
This
want. No,
idea.
I don't know whether you should do it. Oh, man.
I think you killed it.
You savage. You come over here and you smash our phones.
He's a
one
happy
left.
man, isn't he?
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
Think about this.
Yeah,
You mixed up all the envelopes. You put the phones in the envelopes.
Yes.
You stuck the stickers on.
I did.
Then you rolled the dice that I gave you before we even started the
That's
whole
right.
process.
And it was random. I would attest to that.
And we ended up with this one, number 1.
One phone left. I'm hoping this is good news.
To be honest, so am I.
Yes, it is my phone. Wow. Great job. Very impressive. A bit nerve-wracking, but great stuff. Well done, Mark. That was great, wasn't it? Wow, OK.
All right, I'll go ahead and give you my thoughts now before we hear what Penn and Teller are going to say. Okay, so wow, I mean, that was actually a really great performance. It's very fooling. How would he have known or have controlled somehow to not smash Jonathan's phone? Well, first off, how would he even know which envelope the phone was in? It looked like he wasn't really paying attention. But you gotta keep in mind he's a crafty magician. The only thing I could imagine now is possibly he had the word random written on each envelope, so maybe he had like marked each of them. You know, for example, like maybe one of the R's on an envelope had a little curl or some kind of small detail like this. So that way the magician would be able to recognize and distinguish the envelopes from each other. Because the only thing that I noticed, possibly, when Jonathan Ross was sticking all the phones in the envelopes, there was one extra envelope. And at that point, the magician did turn around and he looked at the table, so he could have seen which was the only envelope not filled yet, the one that Jonathan's phone was going to go inside of. So maybe from that point of view, the magician at that point could recognize the right envelope. You know, then he had to go put those numbers on the envelopes, and he was watching as the numbers were being placed, so the magician would know that number 1 held Jonathan's phone. This is all just speculation. I don't really know, but some kind of just imagining how it could possibly be done. And I want to point out that I actually had to stop and think about this for several minutes. It did not occur to me immediately, so I do feel like it's a very convincing and fooling performance. If I were in Penn and Teller's position and I only had like 30 or 60 seconds to come up with a solution, I probably would have just been fooled, but you know, I can just pause the video and sit and think about it for however long I want to. So that's not really fair. At any rate, so I think he knows that number 1 is Jonathan's envelope, but what about the die? How did he control that? Because Jonathan was shaking it in the box. I'm not too sure how he would have controlled the die roll, except that somehow he must have, right? I'm thinking of maybe some like high-tech solution with the bottom, like that black layer of the box, maybe controlling how the dice rolls? Possibly, or maybe not. Anyway, those are my best speculations, so let's go ahead and hear what Penn and Teller have got to say.
Mr. P and Mr. T, if you want to confer. Oh, good. And I'm relieved, even more relieved than all the other ex. Does it go long ever? I mean, I'm assuming that was what you wanted to happen at the end.
Yeah, that's the plan, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
But have you ever had a nasty...
I've had close calls.
Yeah.
But it's never actually completely gone wrong.
Okay.
I've only ever done it once before where I was doing it with glasses, and when I pulled them out, I thought, oh no, they're cracked. And it turned out they were bifocal. So that was fine.
It was a hugely entertaining act for us. Now let's find out whether Penn and Teller know what you've done or whether you've managed to fool them. Fellas, did he fool you?
The die that you were handling, would you be at all upset if we wanted to look at that die? Because that's the real crux of what we've got. Can we look at the die?
If you want to.
I'd like to look at the die. Because on this die, I believe, if I'm not, okay, I don't know how to get into this. How do I get into the box here?
Oh, sorry. If you can't get into the box, then you'll have to sit down. That's fair enough the rules,
You can
isn't
look
it?
with your eyes.
I can look with, can I hold the box while I look with my eyes? Because I see there's a number 2 that's come up. There's a number 3 that's come up. There's a number 6 that's come up.
We could be
There's
here a
number 6
while.
that's come up. Have you noticed the pattern here?
There's no 4.
There's a number 6 that's come up. I just think, and I think we'll agree with this, you are really, really lucky. He is so lucky. Such a lucky guy. So lucky. So lucky.
Lucky, and he gave us a great act.
Great.
It was great fun. He didn't fool them, but he gave us a great bit of entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Shortland. Nice job, well done. There you go, you can go and...
All right, now I'll go ahead and give you my closing thoughts. So, from what Penn and Teller were saying there at the end, it sounds like the die is a special die. Maybe it was missing the number 1. But how would he control that Jonathan Ross should put the number 1 on that envelope? Unless maybe he had a bunch of dice in his pocket and he somehow switched out the one die that he needed before putting it into the box, such that the number 1 could never be rolled. That's my best guess, but really it's only a guess and I don't know for sure. But perhaps more importantly, I thought that Mark's performance was really entertaining. And I really just like Mark Shortland's personality. He seems like a really fun and humorous guy, you know? Like he seems like someone who it'd be easy to get along with, not to mention how lucky he is. Anyways, I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below how you felt about his performance, and did you feel like the effect fooled you before you heard me or before you heard Penn and Teller talk about the solution? And now, it's that time of the video where most of you tune out, and 10% of you remain to hear Aesop's Fables story time. So, let's select a story somewhat randomly, incredibly randomly. Boom. We're gonna read a story called The Parrot and the Cat, and that's that. Alrighty, okay, so this is chapter 242, For those of you following along at home, the parrot and the cat. A man once bought a parrot and gave it the run of his house. It reveled in its liberty and presently flew up onto the mantelpiece and screamed away to its heart content. The noise disturbed the cat, who was asleep on the hearth rug. Looking up at the intruder, she said, "Who may you be, and where have you come from?" The parrot replied, "Your master has just bought me and brought me home with him." "You impudent bird," said the cat. "How dare you, a newcomer, make a noise like that? Why, I was born here and have lived here all my life, and yet if I venture to mew, they throw things at me and chase me all over the place." "Look here, mistress," said the parrot, "you just hold your tongue. My voice they delight in, but yours is a perfect nuisance." No moral of the storyline, so we'll just interpret this one on our own. I've got to say that I used to have a cat, and I love the sound of my cat meowing. Smash like if you love pets. Click the notification bell if you've ever had a pet. On the notification bell, select all if you gave your pet a human name. Who does that, right? All right, back to the story. That's kind of interesting. It's not immediately obvious, but what can we say here? So we have the one that kind of was there for a longer period of time, had seniority, and we have the newcomer, this bird who's just like squawking and proud and happy and flying around. Actually, it kind of reminds me when you get a new job and you're introduced to everyone, you're the new guy in the department, and everyone has their ways of doing things. And if you come in there and you shake things up too much, people don't really appreciate it. I really don't think that's the moral of this story, but somehow it made me think about that. You know, you should know your place. You're the new person. You should have respect for the existing protocols and how people like to do things. But on the other hand, you don't want to be so timid that you're afraid to do anything new, you know? Like you're the fresh blood in that department, and maybe what you have to offer can help improve things, right? Again, as in life, it's all about balance. But specifically this story, what do you think it is trying to say? I just don't know. But one thing I do know is that during this quarantine, we're gonna have a lot of time to think about stuff like this. Just sit on the couch and contemplate life. Or if you're working from home, just kind of business as usual, except you also have cabin fever, like me. Yeah, I'm normally working from home anyways, so this quarantine hasn't affected me too much, but I do miss being able to go to the gym. I like that like walk, you know, it's like a break from the apartment, something different, a change of scenery, but I digress. So I think that's about all I can pull out of this story. Anything else? Point of view of the cat, point of view of the bird. Maybe what we can say is that because the bird is a newcomer, you know, the owner is like pleased to hear him making noise and everything. But after a certain amount of time, it's going to be just like the cat, and the owner is not going to want to hear any noise from either of them. The bird thinks his voice is beautiful, and that's why he's allowed to make noise, but actually he's just new and novel. All right, so that concludes my speculation about the magic effect, my speculation about what this story means, and that pretty much concludes this video. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching. This time with this whole quarantine situation is very interesting, don't you think? I was thinking this is probably the only time in history something like this has ever happened where worldwide people are just staying in their homes. I can't think of another event like this. I do feel like in the history books they will write about this event, you know, and how it changed society afterwards, or at least how it started certain changes. So on the one hand, it's really annoying to be stuck at home all the time and the fear of this coronavirus or whatever. But on the other hand, it's kind of interesting to be part of something that's so big and reaches so many people. Add on top of that the fact that we have the technology to like live stream, so everyone's at home kind of connecting through video and like in a different way that wasn't possible before. So I just feel like it's very unique times and very interesting. Feel free also to leave a comment below how the quarantine is affecting your life. I'm curious to hear from people, you know, what you think about the whole situation. What you can do if you want is give me one bad thing about the quarantine and one good thing, so we can keep our optimism, pessimism levels balanced. All right, so I guess that's about it for this video. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.